the proprietor owner of NashvilleHoops.blog, Joe Sullivan. Joe, what's up, man?
Well, you scared me there for a second because when you said Vanderbilt just announced, and I was like, wait, Stackhouse fired? I thought.
Well, that.
Wait a second. I thought you might be going that way since you were setting me up. But no, positive news with Jerry Kill coming in, who's proven to be a very good coach for a long time. I think a lot of people, speaking of Vanderbilt and Jerry Stackhouse, people are trying to seek out the amount of what his buyout might be now. I mean, we've gotten to that point. And, who's going to pay it and how if they're going to pay it all. So if it's too large, then he will be here next year, I would think. I don't see, historically, this is in Alabama we're talking about, right, guys? I mean, they're not going to be able to just buy someone out.
I think if enough of the right people decide he needs to be gone, the money can be there. I think traditionally, as a friend of mine says, if money is the issue, then there's not an issue. I think there are a few of those types over at Vanderbilt in certain situations that can take care of that if that's the case. Vanderbilt, one of two winless teams in the Southeastern Conference play going into this game against unbeaten Auburn. So
I was exchanged text messages with a friend of mine who is a Vanderbilt season ticket holder for football and men's basketball. There's a guy who's dedicated, right? And I said, "So
who's a masochist?"
So where do you stand on this coach, this team? And his answer is one I'm hearing from a lot, that he respects Stackhouse, but he thinks he's more of an NBA style coach than a college coach, and that he would probably be succeed in the NBA where he wouldn't in college basketball. We've known coaches like that, and vice versa. Rick Pitino being one of the leading examples of that, who failed as coach of the Boston Celtics. And maybe that's an out for Vanderbilt. Maybe it's some sort of NBA offer from Jerry Stackhouse that's enticing enough. I'm pretty downer today, huh?
No, that's okay. I mean, we've not seen any.
We're going to get creamed, right?
I'm sorry?
They're going to get creamed tonight by Auburn.
There's no reason to think otherwise. Uh-oh. Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm not predicting anything for Vanderbilt other than they're going to win one of the next 4 games.
So that would be Auburn at home tonight, at Mississippi State, Tennessee at Memorial, at Auburn.
That would be the next 4.
Yeah. And then Mizzou at home on February 3rd. That one, and that's followed by Kentucky after that.
Maybe it's that Mizzou game because Missouri is the other winless team.
Nope, that's not the type of game they're going to win. They'll get beat more by Missouri at home than they will by Auburn. It's just Vanderbilt. It's Vanderbilt basketball. It is what it is.
Okay.
So you can't. There is nothing normal about Vanderbilt basketball.
So you're calling the UT game, aren't you?
Probably. Because I have Ball syndrome.
They beat them last year.
They did a different basketball team, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
jeez, I just this is that program. This is the team that I don't. They are who they are. They're gonna beat somebody they're not supposed to beat. They're gonna ruin somebody's year, and it's probably gonna be Tennessee's. Maybe it'll be Auburn.
Last night.
I'd rather it be Auburn.
What were you saying about last night, Joe? I'm sorry.
I thought Tennessee looked great last night. With Connect going for 39 points, and if he's going to play offense like that, we know they're a great defensive team. That's when they look really good. The struggle for them is on the offensive end.
He can't do that every night, can he?
No, we cannot. No, that's an exceptional night. You're absolutely
Okay,
right.
I just wanted to be
He's
sure.
running 2 nights in a row.
Well, yeah,
I
36
mean,
at Georgia and 39 last night. I mean, maybe he can. And 28 the game before that, I believe. But no,
Yeah.
I don't think that's sustainable. Somebody else is going to have to step up at some point. Who is the next person? We've not had a big
Santee.
JoJo James game recently.
I need an explanation. What are we going to do here?
We've not had a big game. We're getting a little bit out of your wheelhouse here. It's going east, but um, Jordan Josiah James has not had a big game of late for UT. Maybe it's time for him to pop up with one.
Well, he could. I think one of the biggest improvements for Tennessee is Ziegler finally being 100% like he was before he tore his ACL. He is playing great, and again, he helps make the offense go. You're not looking for him to score a bunch of points. I mean, he'll score some, but that helps get Connect in position to score 39 because you got a good guy running the offense, and certainly if Josiah James can start contributing too, this is a team you probably could think Final Four aspirations, considering how well they play defense.
Man, don't say that to UT fans. Good Lord.
They get too excited. Is that
Well, I mean, Chris will tell you better ball syndrome is real, and they would just as soon keep expectations as low as possible because when you start talking Final Four and then they lose in the Elite Eight, then that's an issue. So just
Didn't fire Rick Barnes.
yeah, right, exactly.
wow?
Yeah, that
That's half our fan base right now.
Yeah.
at any point.
So they don't understand. It's a one and done tournament. It's 40 minutes. Something, anything can happen.
But Rick Barnes is, he's never gone past the second round. So
he hasn't. You're right.
that's tell them that, whatever. But anyway, nonetheless, let's go back to Nashville.
Yeah, because Belmont's trip to Terre Haute didn't go very well.
Oh my God. So Isaiah Swope, on his way to being Player of the Year in the Missouri Valley, hit 6 consecutive 3-pointers in like a 11-minute stretch in the first half. It was like sort of a game, but in this Indiana State was ahead, and then he hits 6 in a row, and suddenly it's a 19-point game, and it's over. He's really something, and so are they. It's Casey's talked about. They just he admits it was a poor effort. They just have to move past it. Tonight they have Northern Iowa at home at the Curb Center. I'll be heading up there later, and 8:00 tip. And this is a dangerous game tonight. Northern Iowa, who started poorly but has won 6 of their last 7, even though Belmont beat them by 20, 90-70 in Cedar Falls back in November. All the way back in November, they played a conference game. I still think this is a tricky game, and they're missing Jacoby Gillespie, their stellar point guard. So interesting game, I think, at the Curb tonight.
So I was right, Mo. It was Northern Iowa, not Northern Illinois. I just
typed Northern Illinois in the rundown.
I typed Illinois, and that was wrong. So I was right and also wrong. That's the story of my life.
Hedging your bets. There you go. I was just trying to pull up their schedule.
Well,
as we speak.
how much of that trip to Terre Haute being a problem was Jacoby Gillespie being out?
Well, I think a big
not
part.
30 points, but
not 30.
No,
points.
I don't look. I don't think they win that game. I don't think many people are going to win going into Terre Haute this year. Indiana State's clearly the best team in the league, but they're just they don't have the depth to replace someone as key as Gillespie, and Casey Alexander, the Belmont coach. I should speak in full sentences here, not in code. Likes to play a lot of players, and he doesn't have enough players to do that this year. So imagine losing one of your best ones and the people that you're going to have to put into the lineup. Now, Keyshawn Davidson moves into the lineup. He's a good player. He hasn't been shooting well this season, but he's a good player. But who's going to take Keyshawn's minutes That's the problem. He really doesn't have anyone. So, I mean, because Sean, against a recent game, he played 37 minutes. So there's your answer about, like, he's just not going to put anyone else in if he can avoid it. And it is a problem for them. And so they won't, they don't say what the wrist injury is, but he's wearing a cast. But they will say, they use weeks in terms of recovery is the term they use.
That game was a particularly tough outcome for Belmont, I would think, Joe, when you consider that Robbie Avila only had 10 points and 11 rebounds.
That's our boy. He's shaped like us.
Yeah, like you maybe. Yeah. But I mean, when you, I don't know, limit him to 10 and they still score 94, that's a tough night.
It is a tough night. I only watched the first half because it was it was over.
You'd seen all you needed to see, huh?
Yeah, and
stop. He's already dead.
Yeah,
well, it's 48-32 at the half. So
they have a really great starting lineup. They have a lot of people that can contribute. Their point guard I like a lot, and in my tradition on this show, I'm forgetting a name. But
I can't help you with that one.
I know. It's Larry Julian Larry. I think that's his name. He is terrific.
First names get you every time.
And they have this transfer, Ryan Conwell, who played really well Saturday. They're just a great team. And I the only way Belmont's going to get to the NCAA tournament is if they upset them in St. Louis in early March in the tournament, in the Arch Madness. That's the only way they're going to get there. And hopefully they'll have Gillespie back, because I think without him, they're not going to be able to do it either.
Arch Madness. Is that not a great name?
It is. That's really why it sticks. It's like Frozen Four for the NCAA hockey Final Four.
Yeah.
When it works, it works.
Joe Sullivan of NashvilleHoops.blog joining us here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Joe, what else has got
look,
you fired
if we're going
up?
to talk about, here's Lipscomb is our team in Nashville if they're going to have a chance to make the NCAA tournament. And we had a story on the site this week, excuse me, about their point guard, Joe Anderson, who in his last 4 games has 26 assists and 1 turnover.
Ooh,
26 assists, 1 turnover. So this is their point guard. He transferred from Furman, didn't play at all at Furman. He's a teeny tiny guy. They list him at 6 feet. Not sure he's that tall. 175 pounds. I doubt it. But very quick with the ball. And when I saw them in preseason and the first couple of games, Lenny was telling me how much Lenny Acuff, the coach at Lipscomb, was telling me how much he loved this kid. And I'm going, I don't understand the love. I've changed. Now I understand the love. This kid is really playing great. And Lenny predicted this. And he is, he's really come into his own and made this team better with his playmaking ability. And what's another plus for Lipscomb is Darian Boyd, their leading scorer, is now back from his broken thumb. And when I talked to him after the game Saturday, he told me, no pain, non-play. I'm 100% ready to go. He was back in the starting lineup, played 30-plus minutes. So he's full. He's good to go. And what was a surprise for Lipscomb on Saturday was his freshman center, Dylan Faulkner, 6'8" guy from Georgia, who had showed a little bit of ability. But, boy, Saturday was something else. And whether he can sustain it, I don't know. But he had 15.7 rebounds, 5 blocks, a couple of, dunks off of lobs from Boyd. That could be a big difference if he can give them a big man come off the bench who could really change the game when he comes in. So we're high on Lipscomb right now. The schedule is easy for them coming up. Central Arkansas and North Alabama, winnable home games. They're undefeated at home. And then they have 3 straight games in Florida, and that's going to be where something will go either way for them this season.
That's a lot of purple. Central Arkansas, Lipscomb, and UNA all in one. That's a lot of purple.
Hey, you know what I noticed last week? And this is really getting off topic, but I love uniforms and different types of uniforms. And North Alabama, I noticed they were wearing home uniforms that said Florence State, which
Yeah.
I found out that's what the school used to be called, and I wasn't aware of that. So I thought that was pretty.
Take you back to the Harlan Hill days.
There you go.
Harlan Hill, namesake of Division II's most valuable player, most outstanding player trophy in football.
You talk about a trip to Florida for Lipscomb, Joe. They might be looking forward to that after their last one.
How you guys holding up in this? It's I own the only shovel on my neighborhood here.
I was going to ask if you had a shovel.
Yeah, I brought it down. I brought it down from Boston when I moved here. So my driveway looks beautiful. That's all I can say. I was out there. I know how to do this.
If you want to come down to Franklin, I got a driveway waiting on you because I figure eventually it'll melt off. And as long as there are no games to go to, I don't have anywhere to go, so I'm good.
Yeah, schools are all closed, right? So
exactly.
I know you get out to those high school games.
Joe said he was going to the game tonight. You may be the only person there, Joe.
Yeah, I don't have to leave early, right? Well, I should for traffic, but no one else will be there. Yeah.
But I will say the last time I went to the curb, Mo, was that Jacksonville State game, and it had just iced and snowed that day too. And finding a parking spot over there with snow is a little janky. So, of course, they were doing some construction too, so that probably didn't help. But you may, I don't know, there may be some parking issues. You may have to.
How long ago was this, Chris? I mean, they have the parking garage attached to the arena. I mean, there's never a parking problem there.
I was not aware of a parking garage, apparently.
Oh, goodness.
I guess, yeah. It's easy. You don't even have to go outside practically.
Okay. Well, that makes it a little easier because I tried to park on the street.
No, there's a parking
rookie
garage.
Mistake.
It was. Well, I was a rookie, so I was a rookie. I did not know. We made it in, but it gets a little crazy over there because those hills,
Yeah.
It is where it is. So, luckily, Joe knows how to drive in it because he's a Yankee. So
yeah, I just got to worry about the other people. Yeah.
Good luck. That's all I can tell you. NashvilleHoops.blog. Joe Sullivan. Make sure to visit it. Check it out. And we appreciate your time again, as always, Joe, and look forward to talking to you again next week.
Always great to be with you guys. Thank you.
Stay warm, man.
All right, let's take a break. The weirdest and wildest news from across the world coming your way in just a moment. Stick around. Main Street Sports Today is presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint.